Namaskar, all protocols observed. Assalamu alaikum. Pleasant good afternoon to all family, friends, adoring fans, well-wishers. Penning this eulogy was one of the most difficult tasks I ever faced in my life. Where do I begin? The words that resonated were, if tomorrow is Judgment Day, and I'm standing on the front line, and the Lord asked me what I did with my life, I would say, I spent it with you. I spent it serving you. Anil Bheem, born May 14th, 1974, was the first-born son of Mr. Krishna Bheem and Mrs. Premati Bheem, a veteran, legendary singer herself. A round of applause for that, please. He was brother to twins Vimy and Navin and Devi. His daughters, Neelam, affectionately called Lulu, and Prithvi, Farah Pyar or Paul Paul. Paul Paul, the baton will now be passed on to you to carry on his legacy. You girls were loved beyond measure. A grandfather to Zayad, Ruhi, and Reis, whom he loved more than life itself. And he would spend valuable time with them whenever he was out of professional duties. His pets, his dogs, Gucci and Sushi, they brought him immense joy. Anil was indeed the perfect son, father, grandfather, brother, and husband. His career began as a teenager with his family band, Khazana, in the early 1990s. From there, he moved on to JMC Triveni, where he spent almost a decade before establishing his own band, Beamers, in 2005. His band was a great success up until his untimely passing and will continue to be his legacy. Radio, music, and family was his life. He was employed at 103.1 FM for almost 3 decades. He was initially employed as a technical operator, but his ingenuity and talents that afforded him the position of a radio presenter with his famous evening drive time program, Catch the Rhythms, that filled our homes and hearts with his vitality and positive energy. He was a true virtuoso and cultural icon, a legend and a stalwart. Anil passed at a time when his already successful career was at its highest peak. His current mega hit, This Banger, the Indian anthem, is creating history with over 3 million views in just 5 months. This song continues to break records globally. The idea of this song came after his return from a Toronto show in June of last year. We were having a regular chat when I mentioned to him that he should redo the evergreen Suhani Raat. He deliberated for a second, and then he put me to the challenge asking, "Give me a rhythm. What rhythm do you have?" I said, "Oh really?" I played a couple rhythms. He caught the vibes, and musicians will know exactly what I speak of. He went into the studio and started working on the track, and the rest is history. The Indian anthem was produced, mixed, and mastered by Anil Bheem himself. He wasn't just a vocalist, he was the vocalist. Anil was kind, always kind, accommodating and encouraging to new artists, and showed great respect to his counterparts in the industry who held him in high regard. He was the epitome of humility and a catalyst for change. He was even instrumental in giving his musical peers their sobriquet. Wotunks, Jay Master, Stones, just to name a few. The music fraternity has suffered a major, tremendous loss. A void no shoe can ever fill. He was a prodigy, a true son of the soil. There is so much that I can say about this brilliant musician, but it will take me another 20 years. My love, you have forever changed the cultural landscape in Trinidad and Tobago and around the world, and certainly left your indelible mark on this earth. I promise you, your legacy will live on. The Anil Ganesh Bheem I knew, and the Anil Bheem fondly called the vocalist you knew, were two different people. Those who encountered him would know that he had a great sense of humor. His pet peeve was cleanliness and good hygiene, because he believed in the old adage, cleanliness is next to godliness. He lived a God-conscious life and followed the path of spiritual upliftment. He couldn't complete a conversation with anyone without delving into his spirituality and advising you about getting closer to your God. Anil and I met in 2002 at 103.1 FM, where I was also employed as a radio presenter for over a decade. That's where our love story began. Let's just say the first time he laid eyes on me when performing at the Triangle in Rio Claro, he never stopped pursuing me. He would always ask me to marry him, and eventually I did 6 years later on November 23rd, 2008. During our marriage of 15 years, we tried to have a baby of our own, but it was a roller coaster ride that proved futile. God obviously, clearly had different plans. Nevertheless, our marriage was full of love, loyalty, and commitment. We had a love story out of this world. And he always said to me, I would love you in this janam, the next janam, and every janam thereafter. Our love had so much balance. You were the perfect husband, partner, and gentleman. Wifey would never have to open the car door. And by the way, this has been all of our lives. Never opened a car door. Nor take out the groceries. Nor open the gate. Nor change the gas tanks. Anything too strenuous, wifey just didn't do. You were the perfect gentleman and the best husband. Every day Anil would remind me of how important giving was, and to do so freely, because it was a blessing. He expressed gratitude for little things like a bite of chocolate or fruit by saying, "Thank you, Lord, for this." He believed that gratitude brings to your life love and abundance. He was thankful for his home, which was his sanctity, where he found peace, love, and serenity. He always loved the rain, as he saw it as a reminder to pause. His ideology was to stand up for the truth, no matter how brutal or offensive it may seem. My love, the wisdom and the knowledge you have imparted upon me will remain with me for my lifetime. Thank you. I will miss your hugs, kisses, love, and most of all, our daily chats and conversations. I am comforted in knowing that we never missed a moment or opportunity to love each other. Thank you to my mother-in-law and father-in-law for giving me your most prized possession. Thank you to his girls for sharing their father with me. The past 4 months, I accompanied you on all of your trips around the world because you said there was no one better to run your Ableton. Team Bheem for life. Life can switch up in any instant. It went that night from happiness to extreme horror and devastation. The question will always be why. But the truth is, we are here on borrowed time. And the thing is, we always think we have time. But life gives us no guarantees. My dearest husband, I know that this is not the end, but the transition into another dimension. Sing to the gods when you reach at the gates of heaven. You were a spark everywhere you went. You brought light into this world, and I quote you, "There's a spark of divinity within each and every one of us. Locate that divine spark, and all in your life will fall into place, will work out just fine, will be just mellow." Love you, TNT. Blessings. Farewell, my love. May your path always be lit and guided onto your next journey. May your Atma attain moksha and rest at the lotus feet and in the humble abode of Sri Krishna Ji. Until we meet again, Ram Nam Satya Hai.